Okay, so welcome to James's Great 50 States of America geography lesson. So I'm going to restart it, and I'm going to talk our way through it, and maybe we'll learn something, or I'll learn something as well, hopefully. Alabama. So you've got Louisiana here, and Alabama. Well, it's Mississippi, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. All sound very southern, don't they? Alabama. Birmingham, Alabama. Oregon just happens to be up here between California and Washington. It just is. North Dakota. So you've got North Dakota and South Dakota. These two. So, of course, North Dakota. Nevada. Well, we've got Arizona and Nevada. I get them confused sometimes, but Nevada is the bigger one there. Just there. Illinois. Well, we all know that Chicago is there, so I think Chicago's the third biggest city, isn't it? Isn't it New York, Los Angeles, Chicago? And it's Chicago, Illinois. And Chicago's known as the Windy City, because it's windy, because it's on Lake Michigan. That's Illinois. And Michigan, very good, so that is the one that actually encapsulates or encircles Lake Michigan. Hawaii, I think we all know that that's Hawaii. Montana sounds quite Canadian, don't you think? And so therefore it's this biggest one, the longest border against Canada. Missouri, that's okay. So I need to tell you that if you can see down this line in the middle here, there's is it an acronym? There's a word I say, it's like MIMAL, like minimum, but no, MIMAL, and the L at the bottom, MIMAL. And this MIMAL person is holding some chicken on a tray. And the chicken, of course, is Kentucky Fried Chicken. So that's Kentucky. But whatever. So Missouri is the middle M. That's how I remember it. So MIMAL, Missouri. Iowa is the I. Georgia. So we all get confused. We think Georgia's a country, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's a country in the Caucasus. Capital Tbilisi. Next to Chechnya and all that trouble with Russia. Yeah, there is a country in Europe as well. Or is it Europe? It's in the Caucasus. But anyway, it's also a state in the US, and the capital is, well, not sure of the capital, but the main city is Atlanta. So it's Atlanta, Georgia. And yeah, Georgia, I mean, it's southern sounding too, isn't it? Maine is this weird one at the top there. That in the elections, it's got some sort of weird thing where it only has one seat, whereas all the others have two, so it stands out in that way. But also it stands out because look at it, it's basically in Canada. It's trying to be in Canada. Newfoundland or whatever's up there. Wyoming. There's not. No, Wyoming's one of only two states that are perfectly square. I've just realised. So that one's square and this one's square. Wyoming and Colorado. Okay, West Virginia. There are, of course, two Virginias. There's Virginia and West Virginia. Isn't that a song? Down to West Virginia or something. South Dakota, of course, underneath North Dakota. North Carolina, so there's another one. So you've got North South Dakota, North South Carolina. Those two and these two. So North Carolina is north there. And then West Virginia, Virginia. So those are the only ones. Those 6 states are kind of playing with the west, north, south thing. Oklahoma is another southern one. It just sounds it, doesn't it? Virginia, we've heard it. West Virginia, Virginia. Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. So we know it's up here, but it's basically that one. Yeah. Anyway, South Carolina underneath North Carolina. Texas, biggest state in the US. California, probably the second biggest one. Ohio. So we've got Oregon, Idaho, Iowa, Ohio, which all get a bit confused in my brain. So the way I remember it is just, I don't know, Ohio. It's just the one that sounds most New Yorkish. I don't know, it's just Connecticut. It's a stupid word, but yeah, it's this weird square one there. Again, Massachusetts. It's just above it as well. They're both just weird, like name-wise, but okay, Utah is over here. Utah Saints. But it almost looks like a bit of a U. It's got that sort of... It could be. If they'd carried on it would have made a U, wouldn't it? Vermont, right, so you've got two here, which is Vermont and New Hampshire, and the left is Vermont, because it looks like a V, and the other one's New Hampshire, and that's how you remember it. Kentucky! There's the chicken. Look, it literally looks like a chicken leg. Wisconsin is just there, you just have to remember it. So you've got Illinois, Michigan, and it's Wisconsin. Colorado is the other square one under Wyoming. Alaska, we all know this is Alaska. Kansas, you just have to remember that it's just there in the middle. You've got Colorado and Kansas and Nebraska and Oklahoma. These ones they're tricky, but you just have to remember it. Mississippi is, well, it's by Louisiana, isn't it, and Alabama. It's just, you know, because the Mississippi River comes all the way down there, down the middle. It's just Mississippi, man. Tennessee is the tray of the chicken, and they're kind of like, do you know what I mean? It's like a sort of tray, and then there's the chicken. Rhode Island is this cheeky little thing there. Maryland is this really awkward shaped thing there. Washington, not Washington DC, but the state Seattle, Washington. So Seattle would be here, wouldn't it, in the port there? And there you go. It's Washington. Idaho next door. Just have to remember it. New York. So we know New York City is there, but the state is huge, and it's behind it. New York State. Florida, Miami, Disneyland. Louisiana, it's got that L shape. Can you see the L? So it's a bit like when you don't know where's left and right and you have to get your hand up. Oh yeah, which one's left or right? And you put your hand up, it's like an L. Yeah, it's exactly that. Louisiana, New Orleans is there, I'm pretty sure. Nebraska, it's just this one here. Indiana is this one here, and New Mexico, obviously with a border to Mexico, but it's not Arizona. Delaware is this cheeky little line one there. New Hampshire, I said earlier, is like your Vermont, New Hampshire. They kind of make up this square in two triangles, and obviously the V is the Vermont. Minnesota is there because it's Minneapolis, isn't it? It's Minneapolis where all this stuff's been going on in the news. So yeah, because that's also MINN, Minneapolis, and yeah. So anyway, that's what was it, Minmal? So that's going to be Arkansas, isn't it? Arizona, Arkansas, New Jersey, and it's over. Thanks for watching. I learned a lot then.